Man, I'm gonna be real with you. This right here, this was one of those NASCAR days that just hits different. The kind of day that reminds you exactly why we keep coming back every single weekend. Through the chaos, the mistakes, the pressure, the breakthrough moments, all of it. Because in just one day, at the exact same track, we saw both extremes of what this sport can do to a driver. On one side, frustration, mistakes, spins, feeling completely overwhelmed. And on the other, confidence, control. That moment where everything finally starts to click. Two races, same driver, same Rockingham Speedway. But what happened between those two moments? That tells a much bigger story than just results on paper. This is about growth, pressure, mindset, and what it really takes to earn your place in NASCAR. But before we break it all down, if you're a real NASCAR fan like me, go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Because this is NASCAR Insider Hub, and we're just getting started. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, building a community of real fans who live and breathe NASCAR every single week. Now, let's get into it, because there's a lot to unpack. And here's what makes this whole thing even crazier. This wasn't just another race weekend. This felt like a turning point. The kind of moment where you either get exposed or you prove you can grow in this sport. And somehow we saw both in the same day. That's why this story matters way more than just finishing positions. So let's start with the first race at Rockingham Speedway. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This was rough. This was one of those races that humbles you fast. Cleetus McFarland came into this with a real opportunity, backed by Richard Childress Racing. This wasn't just a content creator messing around for fun. This was serious. Real team, real structure, real expectations. He qualifies 33rd, already deep in the field, already stuck in traffic, already in a danger zone where mistakes are way more likely. And by the end, he finishes 32nd. Yeah, just one position gained. But trust me, that stat doesn't even begin to tell the full story. Because from early on, this race was a struggle. Lap 3, and this is where everything starts to unravel. The plan was simple. Take it easy. Treat it like school. Learn. Stay clean. Build experience. But here's something a lot of people don't understand about NASCAR. One early mistake? It doesn't just cost you track position. It gets in your head. Now you're thinking too much. Hesitating. Overcorrecting. And that usually leads to even more mistakes. And that's exactly what happened here. Instead of sticking to the plan, he goes 3 wide into the corner like he's chasing a win, sends it way too hard, loses control and spins. And that moment right there, every racing fan understands it. That rush of adrenaline, forgetting the plan, and paying for it instantly. But it didn't stop there. Later in the race, another spin. This time, just carrying way too much speed into the corner. That's pure inexperience showing up. Then contact. Even he admits he takes about half the blame. Then another moment trying to stay out of the leader's way. And it still goes wrong. By the end of it, 4 spins, total. And here's what really stands out. It felt like the race just kept resetting on him over and over again. Every time he started building even a little confidence, something would happen and boom, right back to square one. He even said it himself. There was a moment where he finally started to feel good again. Running with a small group, getting comfortable, starting to understand the rhythm of the race. And then, another mistake, reset. Just like that. And the most important moment comes late in the race. He's out there on completely worn-out tires. The leaders are closing in fast. And in that moment, he realizes it. He's put himself in the worst possible position. He straight up admits it. He felt way in over his head. And that right there, that's the reality of NASCAR. It's not just about going fast. It's about managing everything at once. Tires, positioning, awareness, decision-making. And the second one of those falls apart. Everything starts collapsing with it. He even spins on pit road, which just adds another layer to how tough this race really was for him. But here's the part I respect the most. He owned it. No excuse. No blaming the car. No pointing fingers at other drivers. He said it straight. He made a ton of mistakes, learned a lot, and knows he still has a long way to go. And even in all that chaos, he didn't take anyone else out. He didn't ruin another driver's race. And in a garage like NASCAR, that matters a lot. He even joked about all the noise online, saying it almost made him feel like maybe he shouldn't come back, but then immediately flipped it. I'll be at Talladega in 2 weeks. That right there tells you everything about his mindset. Now, this is where the story gets really interesting. Same track, same day, same driver, but now, completely different outcome. We're talking about the ARCA race. Rhett Jones Racing, car number 30. And suddenly, everything changes. Cleetus goes out there and finishes 4th, top 5. And no, this wasn't luck. This was control. This was discipline. This was a completely different driver. He even said it himself. This was the most confident he's ever felt in a stock car. And you could see it. He kept the leaders in sight the entire race. No forcing moves. No putting himself in bad positions. This time he wasn't fighting the race. He was managing it. And that's the difference. Because anyone can be fast for a few laps. But managing an entire race, staying clean, consistent, composed, that's what earns respect in the garage. And that's exactly what he did. That's the biggest difference between the two performances. In the first race, he forgot he was still learning, pushed too hard, too early, and kept putting himself in trouble. But in this race, he respected the process, stayed within his limits, focused on being clean, focused on being consistent. He said it in the simplest way possible. I didn't do anything stupid. And yeah, it sounds basic. But in NASCAR, especially at this stage, that's everything. He also gave a lot of credit to Greg Biffle, saying he went out there and applied everything he's been learning from him. And on top of that, he talked about how much he's grown, just being around Richard Childress Racing in such a short time. That kind of environment, it accelerates development fast. And this result proves it. But what I really like, even after finishing 4th, he stays grounded. He knows there's another race coming, the O'Reilly event, and he straight up says he'll probably get whooped. That's not doubt. That's awareness. That's a driver who understands progress is a process. So what does all of this mean? Let's be real for a second. Not every driver gets a second chance like this in the same day. Most of the time, a bad race just sticks with you. But here, he got the chance to reset, go back out, and show something different. And he took it. That tells you everything. Cleetus McFarland is exactly where he needs to be right now. Making mistakes but not ignoring them. Learning and, more importantly, applying those lessons immediately. And that's the key. Because a lot of drivers struggle, but not all of them adjust this quickly. What we just saw was someone go through one of the toughest races possible and then come right back on the same track and show real improvement. That's something you pay attention to. Now, does this mean he's ready to compete at the highest level every week? Not yet. The first race made that clear. But the second race showed something just as important: potential. And heading into a place like Talladega, where anything can happen, where confidence and decision-making matter more than ever. This gets very interesting, because now we know 2 things. He can struggle, and he can respond. And that combination? That's what makes a driver worth watching. This right here? This is what makes NASCAR special. The struggle, the growth, the small wins, the big lessons, all happening in real time. And now, all eyes are on what comes next. Because this is the stage where a driver either keeps evolving or hits a wall. But after what we just saw, I don't think people are going to underestimate him the same way again. So, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Because what we just witnessed, Cleetus McFarland went from chaos to confidence in the same weekend, struggled hard in one race, then proved his potential with a top 5 finish. And that kind of growth, that's what NASCAR is all about. And honestly, this might just be the beginning of something bigger.